There you
Yeah.
are.
Hello.
How you going?
Great. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for agreeing to do this again.
Pleasure. I was happy to see you again.
Yes, likewise.
What room are you in?
I'm in our upstairs spare bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you? Lots of books behind you?
This is my study, and it's my drum room when it has to be my drum room, but it's a study. It's a workspace.
What drumming's work?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like if I I don't, I've got a studio, as you will recall, at Marrickville, the drive down Gardner's Road, and and but when I have to learn something at home, then I'll use this room. The books act as they insulate the sound. I'm in an apartment too, and but I've got no common walls, but there's the floor, but no one really hears me.
That's good. Yeah, it
Yeah,
must be the insulation of the books, as you said.
yeah, that's what I think it is.
Yeah, beautiful. You happy to just jump straight in?
I beg your pardon?
You happy to just jump straight in?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, I heard your excellent new album. Congratulations.
Have you heard the whole album?
I have, yeah. I got sent it.
Right, so I don't understand. Some people don't seem to have the whole album, but you've got the whole album.
I have, yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Do you want to know what my favorite song so far is
Yeah.
after two listens?
What is it?
It's a song called Take a Step, which I believe is a
No,
Lindy Morrison solo, right?
I can't believe you're saying that. You know what? I find that didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have it on. I told the men I was embarrassed by it, but not only that, today I was playing it and I was going in the car and I was going, you should have not put that in, like it's, I don't want to tell you what I think of it because then you're going to change your perception, but I think it's too music theatre. It's so music theatre.
I kind of get what you mean. Like it's a waltz and it's like, but I thought it sounded like a David Lynch soundtrack or something.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, it was Rob's idea to have Amanda sing it. And I didn't want to ask her, like I was going, oh no, it's too cheesy, like she'll never do it. And of course she did it. And she did such a beautiful version. Really,
Yeah.
I'm in absolute shock that it's your favorite song. Like, because I have been, no, seriously, today, I've been really under self-confident because of listening to that track in the car. Yeah, but my favorite song. And this is another dilemma I'm in at the moment is the dying song, the
Oh, yeah.
dying conversation.
That's
The
another one of your lyrics, right?
Yeah, I wrote the lyrics to it and I wrote the music. It's about a conversation with my daughter about dying. You don't remember it.
No, I know the one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's track three. Yeah. No, I'm just,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So, remember last time we spoke, I told you that you should just nod occasionally.
Oh,
Have you
sorry. Yes, I will do it.
have you been working on that? Very good. Okay, so I my son-in-law did a drone video in Waverley Cemetery with me for a video for that, right? At me and my daughter, but at no stage was my daughter to be recognizable. That was her rule. Anyway, now we find out that Waverley Cemetery won't allow us, Waverley Council won't let us to drone there. So luckily he had a lot of handheld stuff. And so a close up of me and my daughter, but my daughter I'm sorry if this is going nowhere for your podcast.
No, this is great.
Is it okay? Okay, good. And my daughter shielded. Anyway, so I said to him, just cut those bits in, and we'll make a video out of those. We won't have the drone shots. We'll only have the handheld camera. But I look like shit, man. Like I no, I look terrible because like no, I look like an old woman. And I mean, so I'm going, like my confidence is shattered because this is actually what I look like when I'm not, blown up by good lighting and, great clothes and everything. Because see, I was expecting, the idea was just the drone went round and then came in and out. So, but then he got terribly excited on the day and he was saying, "Oh yeah, let's do this with the hand." And I was, I don't know why I didn't stop him, but I wasn't dressed, had no makeup on. I look old, but
And
but, but the idea is great. The actual idea is great. So you've got this old woman who happens to be me talking to her daughter in a cemetery, but you never really see the daughter, but you see the old woman wandering around. So it did occur to me later today that I could pretend I was acting an old woman.
yeah, you're in a cemetery. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No. I'm pretending I'm acting an old woman,
yeah,
even
you
though,
are. Yeah, it's
even though I'm actually an old woman. But I could say, yeah, I was acting. That's why I didn't have any makeup on. That's why I looked like shit.
it was an intentional,
Yeah, it was
it was an
intentional.
acting
How's
move.
that?
Yeah.
I mean, how's that going to go down? Except people are going to be, well, the three people who listen to your podcast are going to go, well, that, that's
Uh,
not the story. Anyway, so what would you do?
it sounds like you're in the second guessing yourself stage just before the record comes out, where you've recorded it, you're happy with it, and then a few weeks before it comes out, you go, "Oh no, it's all rubbish and
Yeah,
this
that's
song sucks," and you're in that stage. You just need to get out of it.
right. That's right. That's where I am.
Yeah, you need to get back to that go-between's arrogance that
Yeah.
you guys had.
No, no, you're right. I need to get that. I need to get that go between arrogance. But anyway, that's great that you like take a step.
Oh, I love it. It's such a
Oh,
beautiful song.
wow.
So is
Wow.
that the first song that you've had solo writing credits for?
Yes. That's the very, very first song. I did have solo writing credits for You're So Adorable, but then Rob put in that middle bit.
Oh yeah.
When it becomes personalized?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think of me when I'm gone? I think of hemispheres and time, and I'm doing a kind of Cole Porter List song, and then in the middle there's this whole section about asking the lover, if it's a lover, asking the lover, are you thinking about me when I'm thinking about you, and I'm here and you're there, and what did it mean to you, and he completely changed it. But he that's what he does. But so it would have been mine totally. But no, no, he's got to get his 50%.
I thought that was a good move opening the album with a vocalist that isn't even in the band as well. It's a very interesting thing to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Well, there's the Romy Vega last
Yeah,
track.
you end with that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, which is completely. Oh no, well, he's given me a bit on that because it was my idea to write a song like that. I wanted to write a hate song, like a song. So, yeah, and I even told him who it was about and what I felt, and then he writes the whole bloody song. And I go, oh, well, that was my idea. But there's no copyright in an idea. I do go on about the copyright and everything, but it's only in fun. Rob and I have fun with it. We laugh about it, but we argue about it. Is that 10%? Is that 20?
Yeah, I noticed the credits are divided between like lyrics by, music by.
But yeah, well, yeah, I know. I mean, that was the other thing. I said to him, why can't we just have Snarsky Morrison? Or, like Lennon McCartney, Forster McLennan, well, I don't know how they, can't remember how they did it. But, and he goes, no, whoever wrote the most has to be first.
Well, you're first in most of them, so that's good. Means you wrote
Yeah.
the most for.
No, yeah, yeah. Well, some of them I did. A couple I didn't write at all. Shane O'Mara loves wears mascara. I didn't write any of that.
Yeah, and I don't think I'll ever sleep with you. Is that?
I don't think I'll ever sleep with you again. Yeah, he wrote that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 but other than those two, it seems like yeah, you wrote
yeah, yeah.
a lot of the
I know
album, which is
it's been
excellent.
great. Hey, I know. I know. I've been really well. See, there's a reason to write when they're going to be published. For me, there's no reason to write unless I'm working in a job where I've got to put on a show with people and I've got to write with people or get work out of them. I'm doing songwriting workshops and doing all that sort of stuff, which I used to do all the time. That's how I made my living alongside with support act for like 30 years when I was raising Lucinda. But um, I um, I I never would have sat down and written songs unless they were going to be published. For me, I would much prefer to be working on the drums. And the very fact that he was going, Lindy, you've got to write. And also, I had that whole thing about, well, what really started was me. I think I told you this before, telling him, we had to have faster songs.
Yeah, he's bringing all these miserable things to
Yeah,
the.
yeah, that's right. And we discussed that last time. But then after co-writing some songs then to get the tempos up, like Since I Slept With You, Everyone Wants to Sleep With Me. Um, he was really, really pushing me to co-write with him, and like constantly asking me, have you got any lyrics? Or sending me a piece of music and saying this is going to be an instrumental, and I'm going, no, it's not. We're not doing instrumentals, you know.
Do you reckon that was him tricking you into writing lyrics to a piece?
No, I don't think so. He's got a little bit of a penchant for instrumentals.
Yeah, well, it's worked out well. So is that how it always? Do you often write? I mean, sorry, do you always write to an existing piece of music, or do you start with lyrics, or how does that work?
No, it's uh, normally it would be the lyrics. Yeah, it'd be the lyrics. But then I started really thinking about like with well, Take a Step and with You're So Adorable. I just came up with the music and the lyrics. And I I can't remember. Well, You're So Adorable. They just came together, the lyrics and the music. But Take a Step, I had a melody and I had an idea. The idea is not as good as what I wanted. What I want. I've always loved those songs like Shout It to the Top.
Yeah.
I'm Still Standing. Those kind of. I love those songs. Those kind of songs of. I'm gonna. I'm going to withstand all the elements and but it's not as great as that. But if I stay on course, and Rob and I get to make another recording, like it's so it's such a really, really long process. And we got a grant this time. It wasn't huge from the Australia Council um, because it's also expensive.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's great that you got
yeah,
funding.
incredible that to be funded. Absolutely made a huge difference. Yeah, and yeah, yeah.
That's great that you're already thinking ahead to the next record.
Yeah, but I haven't started writing because I'm thinking about the drums now again. I'm back in my drum space, and it takes up so much of my um, physical, stamina, but it also takes up a lot of mental stamina. And it's not, I don't do it every day, but I do it at least 3 times a week, 3 days a week. And it takes up all my energy for a day, so twice going to the studio and once just working on my hands. And we have to do a show in Brisbane in September called, we're reproducing 16 Lovers Lane, Amanda, me, and John Wilsteed. We've done that before. This is the fourth time, but this is again with 8 different singers again, the same band, which is Danny Whitcomb, Luke, Luke, I can't think of Luke, Daniel. I know this really well, but I can't think of it now. Dan Kelly and Luke Peacock.
Oh,
So
yep.
yeah, Luke
And
Peacock.
Darren
Uh,
Hanlon's involved somehow as well, isn't he?
he's one of the singers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so there are 8 singers, but the band is the same band we've had all 4 times. Dan Kelly, Luke Peacock, Danny Whitcomb, he's pedal steel, and then John, me, and Amanda. So, there's a shitload of guitars actually, because they all play guitar. And then so I've been going through the 16 Lovers Lane music, but we're also doing about 8 or 9 covers, not covers, 8 or 9 old tunes like Jack Kerouac, the Clark Sisters, Spring Rain, um, Twin Layers of Lightning, songs like that. So I've had to revise them and find out, if I can still play them. But the problem I've been having, and I shouldn't admit to a problem because nearly every fucking interview I do, let me tell you, that I always go, "Oh, we heard there was trouble recording 16 Lovers Lane. How are you going to be able to play it?" Like, goes, for fuck's sake, I toured on that album for 2 years. But anyway, I don't say that.
It's
I,
also probably the easiest drumming wise out of all your records.
oh
Like
yeah,
the other
yeah,
ones are like insane in terms of time signatures and the way you
exactly.
follow the guitars and stuff.
Trying
Like,
to do Cuddle and Cane, actually had to work on Cuddle and Cane again, to get the tempo up. But I've also been having trouble with the tempo on Was There Anything? Because that right hand's playing eighths. It's not going boom tap, boom tap, boom tap. It's going, that's 160 beats per minute. Like, that's
geez.
very, very fast. So, and it's not a simple kick pattern. It's I can't even sing it to you. It's a syncopated pattern. Anyway, so there's a few little problems I've been facing. Also, if I'm sorry, I just talking. It
No, I love it.
I'll do. Okay, it does make it. The other thing is I've been booking with Rob. We book all our shows now, and just obviously we've got David Lang doing the publicity, but we book all our own shows, and it's very time consuming these days because you have to all the venues ask you to submit a form. And in the form is so much, like you've got to do 4 posters, you've got to do 4 photos, you've got to do bios, you've got to, and then the stage plot, and then the support band, you've got to get their stage plot off them and give them that, and then you've got to get their bio off them, you've got to get photos off them, like it's very time consuming. But I suppose that's why you pay an agent 10%. But we unfortunately burned through 2 agents. I blame Rob because Rob's such an anxious person that he rings them all. He rings them all the time. I say to him, Rob, nobody likes phone calls. Nobody does phone calls. You're the only person who does phone calls. Everybody emails or messages, you know.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. It's
It
true.
must also be hard just in terms of getting you guys all in the same place at the same time. Like you got Shane, you got
It's terrible.
yeah,
It's
Dan
not, and
Kelly.
it's not fair. Well, Dan's a problem because Dan's like bloody Paul. Paul's got Dan on the road the whole time. I mean, they just did a tour of the States together, just the two of them.
That's
Like,
wild.
I know. And now he's come back and they're just about to do a national tour, another national tour. What the hell? Like, Paul's never off the road. And it's not like, we've got Dan for 16 Lovers Lane, right? He comes back from a national tour. The date, we rehearse in Brisbane on the 24th, 25th, and the 26th is a show. No, 23rd, 22nd. He comes off tour on the 22nd. Like, it's just like unbelievable. And then we've got we've got Adelaide, and all 5 of us are playing in Adelaide at the Wheat Chief, and I think that's the 19th of October. And then I should have the dates in front of me, but I don't.
It's all right. I'll read them at the end.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks. And then I don't get to rehearse with them. That they will have a rehearsal. That's what Rob says. They'll have a rehearsal in Melbourne. I don't know if I believe that yet. I certainly hope not, but I don't get to rehearse with them, so I've just got to relearn the parts from the record. I mean, it's not as easy as you think, you know,
No,
because you go into a studio and you're working with them, and I come up with a part, a new sort of part with, and it might have an interesting and kick drum pattern, I mean that, like, getting adorable right. It sounds like it's an easy kick drum, but it's got it's an easy pattern because it's all the way through. There's a reason there's no fills. I couldn't go off to do a fill without getting out of time, but keeping that shuffle going on the feet, between the feet and the hands, it's a kind of a triplet feel almost. And like, I couldn't go off that. I had to just play that, well, obviously to a click, but I couldn't go off that to do a fill. So, I've got to be able to reproduce these beats seamlessly without any effort. They've got to be second nature so that you know, there's no, um, that you have no fear that you're going to break down.
And do you think about that when you're in the studio recording them, going, Jesus, I'm going to have to reproduce this?
Um, well, if I couldn't play it, I wouldn't do it, you know. So I no, I don't. I never think that. I just try to work out something that's just what I think is brilliant, or something that's really simple that suits the song, because the song only needs the most simple beat. Like some of the songs on 16 Lovers Lanes, the songs where they actually kept the drums, where they kept my drums, the ones that where the drums are buried are my drums. Because of course the producer hated my drums, because we were an alternate indie band and he wanted a commercial band with a session player drummer. He didn't
Yeah.
have that. He had me.
Producers hated all drums around that era, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Nathan. That's very true. You know that song, You Can't Say No Forever.
Yeah.
Like that is so not me, and I've got to play that song. We never played it live because it was so not me, like let's do something funky. The Go-Betweens are known for being funky. Let's put a funky rhythm track behind a Go-Between song, really. And but I've been playing that and I've got that down now, like I've got that feel down. I really like it. But it depends how it goes in the room, because times before I thought I'd have something down, and then Dan Kelly, this is like when we've done this show before, Dan Kelly go, no, 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 you've got to put, you're going to have to put the kick drum on the, four on the floor. And I'm saying, but it's not like that on the record. It's not four on the floor on the record, Dan. You listen to the part. And he goes, no, it'll only work if you do it that way. And when he does that, then I give in to Dan, because I respect him and because I don't want to have, any discomfort in the room. It's not worth it. When I was younger, of course, I would fight, and it would always end up badly. And you know, yeah. So there.
Well, I think Dan's a bit like that with the Paul Kelly songs as well. It's like the solos have to be exactly how they were played on the record and stuff. So maybe he's just a stickler to the records he loved as a kid.
Yeah, uh, yeah. But this is the opposite, because he's saying don't
Oh, he's
play.
saying change it. Yeah, you're true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's saying change it because, well, it could be because he thinks I'm not approximating because it's very hard to approximate an electronic track that is
Yeah.
complicated, and it is complicated, and you'll have to listen to it again if you ever feel that desire,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
going through my
see what,
head right now,
see
the
what,
little
see,
shuffle.
see what you mean. And I think it would have been more comfortable for the band, if there was four on the floor, because then they can they've got a pattern that's really easy to stick to. Yeah.
Well, I imagine you heard that throughout a lot of the go-betweens where people just wanted you to play straight through the songs.
No one even realized. Well, yeah, I suppose it started at Spring Hill Fair, the third album, but then the fourth album, again, I was left to my own devices because we had the fabulous Richard Preston, for I think the fourth and fifth album, but by then, the songs were really straightening out. There was no way you could, the men were not playing complicated times anymore because they were straightening out their songwriting. Their songwriting was becoming much more experienced, so that they were not doing um, quaint things. Yeah, so I couldn't do quaint things, but that was fine. You know, um, it was only when we got to 16 Lovers Lane that it became an issue because the producer wanted to have a commercial album, and look how well that went.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a hit.
No,
No,
I don't think you ever had a hit, did you?
no, we never had a hit, Nathan. We never had a hit. Exactly. You know,
Yeah, that's crazy.
all those tears were for nothing.
Jesus. What made you revisit 16 Lovers Lane? Whose idea was that for you, Amanda, and John to?
Well, the first time the way it
Yeah,
started was Katie Noonan.
really?
Katie Noonan's idea, and I think we go back to 2017, yeah. And it was such a brilliant idea. She wanted to do it in Brisbane for, now I can't remember, it might have been the Queensland Arts Festival, of which she was the director or something like that. And it was, now hold on, it must have been, because it was like 20 years or since must have been 40 years. So like, it must have been 2018 or around there. I think we were saying it was an anniversary. So it must have been, if it was 2018, is that
Yeah, 40
30 years?
years.
No, 30 years, 2018.
Oh,
No,
yeah, yeah. No.
yeah, no, hold on.
Yep, 30.
88, 98, 2008, 2018. That's 30 years, right?
Yeah, 30 years.
This is so boring. People are going to be so, going to be
We'll
yawning.
cut our arithmetic out.
Can you edit that?
I can.
Yeah, let's edit that. Okay. And yeah, it was her idea. And of course, we asked her to do this one, but she's too busy. We've always asked her. I think she's done two of the four. But this time we've got completely different singers to every other time, apart from Darren. I think Darren's done it before, but no one else has done it before. Not Megan, not Eamon, not Patience from the Greats. God, she's a brilliant performer.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, yeah. Not Ben Ellie. Who's the guy from Regurgitated? The other guy? Um,
Kwan or Ben?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We asked him, but his manager said, "Oh, he doesn't like the go-betweens."
Jesus.
But I reckon that's great. Yeah, yeah, it's just great. It's great. Yeah, that is great. We've got Saya Vogel from and we've got Dave McCormack. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's such an excellent lineup of
Yeah,
people
isn't
that.
it? It's a cool lineup. Yeah, yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
How do you and John Wilsteed get along these days?
Oh, terrible. Yeah. But we're very professional when we're together. But I can't forgive him for the things he said about me publicly, and I just can't. And I just have to we're very professional. We will be very professional together when we work together, and we will do the very, very best to make sure the show goes on. But I'm aware what he thinks of my playing, and I was very aware of what he thought of my playing when we were recording 16 Lovers Lane, and it's you know if it was such a problem, I've never understood why he joined the band, because of course he's done very well out of being a go-between, and he should be very grateful.
Yeah, and you were in Zero with him as well originally.
Yeah, I was in Zero with him originally, and I'm coming up to do a show for Triple Z's 50th with Comrade Zero, who was Arena Lucas, is Arena Lucas, and she and I have done. This will be the fourth time we've done a show together. She does electronic music now, and I play drums with her electronic music. It's two tracks. It's really fun. It's just really great.
That's great that you're making music with her. Last time we
Yeah.
spoke, you were just about to do something with her. Was that
Oh, yeah, yeah.
in
So we've
Sydney?
done that. Yeah. Was that Sydney? did we do that in Sydney or did we was the
I th
first one in Hobart? The first one was in Hobart, and then we did. No, I don't think we've done
oh
Sydney.
yeah, because you said Ben Salter was organizing it.
Yeah, yeah, and then so that was great. The first set was actually a bit shitty, and also we didn't have we weren't doing I didn't have headphones with the tracks coming into my ears then, or I didn't have you know.
Oh, so you're trying to drum to
Oh,
electronic tracks.
he was just there, and the tracks were coming through speakers, and I was trying to play with them. It didn't work that way. I mean, we did the whole show that way, but then I said when went up and played the Bearded Lady in Brisbane, I said I've got to have the tracks coming into my ears, and I have a click track. I've got to have a click, you
Yeah,
know.
if you're playing to robots, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I've got to play to a click. I can't just play, it was just all, because the tracks are all played to a click, and she's singing and she's playing live, and there's a bass player. I need a click, and to that the tracks are playing to a click. I need to hear that click, and so we set it up. We've set that up now, and so I can hear that, and that made all the difference. I was standing up and playing just on the toms, and that's very liberating, and also like very, very strong. It's feels really strong, and her music's really loud, far too loud actually, and but it means I can belt away, and
That's great.
and I like that.
Do you ever play to a click live with any of your other acts?
Well, I did with Alex the Astronaut. I always played to a click with her. I played to a click live for all the 16 Lovers Lane shows, despite some of the band not liking that. And I don't know what I'm going to do this time. I'd like to play to a click, because with so many guitars, the guitars tend to run away, and speed up, and then they turn around and said, "Why are you speeding up, Lindy?"
I'm chasing you guys.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. But who else have I played a click to? Yeah, I've used a click a few times with a woman called Cassie Judy. I was playing with her for a while, and I mean, I actually love playing to a click. It's so great playing to a click. Oh, when I first started playing with Snarsky Circus, I was playing to a click, and that was only because I was kind of insecure, but I loved it. And then Dan again, saying, "Why are you doing that?" Um, and so I just dropped it after a few shows, but I like it because then I know where I know it's not me speeding up. Yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of comfort in that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So now that you've started, or at least kind of accelerated your songwriting,
Mm.
do you find yourself with like a surplus of ideas? Like I know before you were saying that you write for like for spec, so to speak, but do you have songs where you've got lyrics where you're stockpiling them for future songs? Are you
I,
like,
I've got I'll take a note in my notes in my phone of just a line, um, which is just all I think I need really. Um, uh,
like a jumping off point?
yeah, yeah. It's someone will say something. Oh well, I mean, the last one I wrote down was timepiece.
Oh,
You
that's nice.
yeah, yeah. It's like that song "Keepsakes from My Past." I think it's I'm sewing. I don't know if I can't remember the lyric. I'm sewing on a treadle singer. Keepsakes from our past.
Yeah, that's another one that's just
It,
your lyrics, isn't it? That song?
yeah, yeah, yeah. He just gave me the music to that. He just gave the music, and I just wrote that. I wrote that in no time at all. That's a song about Robert Forster.
Oh, really? I love
Yeah,
that song.
yeah. I was going to call it Ode to Robert, but everybody said that's really, really stupid. Oh, luckily, only three people listen to your podcast, so only three other people are going
I thought it was four people last time. We've lost a listener since the start.
to. Did you do Claire?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know. I saw. I mean, that's so cool. That's
yeah.
so great. How was that? I
It
mean,
was great. Yeah, she's
yeah,
wonderful. Yeah,
yeah, isn't she? Isn't
yeah.
she like an interesting person? Yeah, I'm going to listen to that. Yeah, I didn't want to listen to it before this because I didn't want to. yeah, have any ideas like about where you'd be coming from again, And yeah, I wanted it to be all a surprise.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah. But it was really good you interviewed her. I always think that she's overlooked. I always think that I get more attention than she does. And like she's a much better player than me, and she's a much nicer person, and and she's done so much work. But I guess it's just that she's younger, so I'm older, so I've always got a bit more attention than Claire, you know. I think.
Did you ever play with the Moodists in
Oh,
the early
tons.
days?
Oh, yeah, tons.
Yeah, I thought you would have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they would they moved into our London flat when we went away and stayed in that. And not only the London, they also stayed in in twice in two different flats. They moved in when we went away and stayed in them. And Claire and David would come over and drink beer with Robert and me. And I wasn't drinking beer, but they were. This is when Dave's drank because Dave doesn't drink anymore. And yeah, I enjoyed very much hanging out with Claire. She's really a lovely person. I dyed her eyebrows and eyelashes black one afternoon.
God, dyeing someone else's eyelashes is fairly fraught. You can blind them.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it was pretty brave actually to do that.
So last time I spoke to you, you said that you wanted to, like, you had the first EP out, and you said you'd like to record five more songs and then put it down as an album, which you've kind of done. You did another EP in between.
Yeah.
How did you choose the five songs from the first two, well, mini albums, I guess they are? How did you choose which ones went on this album? Was it obvious to you all, or did you fight over it?
Um, there was two songs that I couldn't decide between, but basically I was going for the songs that I co-wrote. Obviously, what makes up the Snarsky Circus, that so the co because that's what in my where I'm going with my mind. But I think Shane O'Mara was very encouraging in that way. He produced and engineered it, and is very responsible for obviously not the actual the structures of the songs, but the instrumental arrangements. He's had a lot to do with that. That's for sure. But he was saying we should keep it to those Snarsky Circus songs and so the ones that I co-wrote, but there was two. There's a song called "Somewhere Sometime" and "Parapet." So those I had to make a choice between those two, and I'm sorry that "Somewhere Sometime" didn't go on it actually, because that was a good song too.
Okay, it's out there. Parapet's the one that Shane sings, right?
No, Shane sings "Since I Slept with You, Everyone Wants to Sleep with Me."
Oh, does he? Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That he sings it. You can tell. You can tell he sings it. Yeah, I mean, you can tell yeah. It's also it's a song with the dirty guitar. I think that song kind of stands out as well because, this was another thing I had today, another crisis. I think that song kind of stands out as a bit of an anomaly because it's got the dirty guitars, you
Yeah,
know.
it does. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sounds differently produced than the others.
Yeah. I know that. Yeah, I know that. But unfortunately, it's such a good song, you couldn't take it off. Really, you couldn't take it off the album.
Well, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
song being so
I mean,
good you
because
can't.
it's a fun song. It's just fun, you know. Yeah. It's really that's very funny that song.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that you've got the back end of the record. You've got Since I Slept with You, and then you've got I Don't Think I'll Ever Sleep with You Again, both in the
That,
second
that,
half.
that was Rob's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. He came up with, I don't think I'll ever sleep with you again. You know, that was because I was telling him I was never going to sleep with that person again. And then he writes a song about it.
Seems to be a pattern where you tell him
Yeah,
your
yeah,
ideas and you just write songs around them.
yeah. That's what he does. Yeah.
Um, Final question. Last time I asked you your favorite moment from the Go-Betweens,
Yeah. What did I say?
um, well, you said your two favorite moments were when Amanda joined around the Tallulah
Oh, that was
period
a answer. Yeah.
and the before Hollywood era.
Doing
So
the album.
yeah.
And where's the question going?
So the question's going, this time I'll just ask you, do you have a favorite song on the new album? And if so, which one would it be?
It has to be the dying conversation.
Oh, great.
I think that song's brilliant.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
I sent that song to Don Walker.
Oh, what do you say?
You know what he said? Yeah, you know why I sent it to him? Because I've got, take the thing up to a Flame Tree Town.
Yeah,
That was a reference to his song, obviously. And everyone knows that's Grafton, and that's where all the Morrisons are buried in Grafton and McLean. I mean, you can't take this all literally. My daughter's not going to take my body up to Grafton, like it's not literal, just so we clear that up. But he said he really liked the song, but what he said that was really great was that he really loved the drumming. And I have to say, it's a very good drum part. It's one of my better ones. Must have been inspired. So, yeah. So
that's
you might have to re-listen to it and just listen to the drums. But
oh,
that's
I
my
was
favorite.
only listening to the drums, Lindy.
Oh, you are so sweet. It's so
Uh,
true.
well, thank you so much for
All
chatting. It's
right. So,
been a joy as always.
yeah, I know. Well, let's keep in touch.
Oh,
Where
I
do you
will.
live again? I forget.
I
You're in
live,
Sydney?
sorry.
Are you in Sydney?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just
Oh,
down,
you
I'm
know?
in Darlington, near Redfern.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you should come to a show, but yeah, I mean, the trouble is like we're playing Sydney the 19th and 20th of December at the Vanguard, but I don't think I can put you on the door
That's all right. I can,
because
I know where to buy tickets. Yeah,
yeah, but I don't know if you've got any money. You might be just a poor podcaster.
possibly. Yeah, no, I'll get some money by, when is that?
I'll tell you
December?
what, if you want to come, I
No,
will.
no, no, no.
I'll
I'll
book
definitely
it
buy
up.
tickets. You guys
Yeah, but
you need
anyway,
to
it's the
sell.
Vanguard and it's 2 nights, and you're like the Vanguard's so civilized, and we've got Love Me supporting us. I don't know if you know Love Me, you might be too young.
Yeah, I remember them. Well, I don't remember them, but I know of them. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's like a night for people to be comfortable, relaxed eating if they want,
Yeah, there's
and
food and, carpet in that venue.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lovely venue now. They've done it up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they've new management. It's really great to see you, Nathan. I was really happy when you said you want to talk to me again because that means I've been on your podcast twice. Who else has been on your podcast twice?
Tex Perkins
Oh,
and
of course he has.
Gareth Lydiard. They're the only other
Oh,
two.
of course they have.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much again. And
Yeah, so I'll see you online. Oh, yeah, so I'll see you online. You can tell me
yes,
when you put it up,
I will. Yeah.
and I'll probably contact you about getting a recording, and I'll
Yeah, I
I'll
can
put
send
it
you the
up.
video.
Yeah, yeah, let's do that. I like
Yeah.
to do that. You know that. I mean, then there'll be two of you on my YouTube.
That's true. Yeah.
I
All
hope
right.
I look good. I don't know. Yeah, I look all right. See, the light's good.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got good lighting there.
it's
Yeah.
not like in the cemetery where I look like shit. Like I look just terrible.
Yeah. Well,
Like, I mean, what would you do? Would you put out a video where you look like really bad?
yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
You kind of don't want to, but then, yeah, maybe someone can do some kind of effect where
Oh no, there's nothing can be done.
it's.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I'm just
take
trying
care.
to get out of here. Okay, talk later.
Talk later. Bye.
It's lovely to see you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, same. Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.